All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 31st, 2025. Where did this month go? Wow, that was quick. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land and cyber land, podcast land. Thank you for finding value in my content. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving kind comments. I love that about all of you. Thank you so much. All right, so my SPY pivot this morning, 603.10. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 except for Diamond Dow are in daily uptrends. SPY, QQQ, Diamond Dow, and IWM all made higher highs and higher lows, closing over their bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. FNGU made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute downtrend. Gold made a new all-time high. Silver, in an uptrend now, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG, USO, both in daily uptrends. UNG made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. USO made a higher low and a higher high, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. US dollar index, now in a downtrend, closed near the 108.18 area. All right, let's go take a look at some charts this morning. Okay, pivot is 603.10. First chart we'll look at is SPY. Okay, on the 10-minute we had the they had the shakeout. That's all I'm going to say. It was a shakeout, probably some news-driven event. All right, price action was a 10-minute downtrend going into the close. They had a nice uptrend going, then they put in a shakeout, which produced, guess what? Higher low. All right, and you can see in the morning we're making higher highs. On the 2-hour chart, we continued with a 2-hour uptrend. I just want to make a note, there's a lot of tails here. All right, that's a lot of tails. Haven't seen that many tails in a long time. See all the tails right there? I got to tell you, they don't need a shakeout unless they're going higher. All right, this deep seek, I gotta say, probably a shakeout. All right, has it been verified by a credible source? Hey, I'm just asking, just saying. All right, so there's SPY on the 2-hour chart. Let's take a look at it on the daily chart. Here's the daily candle right here, not this one, this one. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap. You can see the 3 EMA. All right, up over the 8 EMA. And the candle closed. See where the body ends up top here because it's green. Body closed near the high of the day. Up over a prior all-time high anchored VWAP, looking good. Up over the bullish trap. Up over the rising 17. And if we look at it with the quad lines on it, darn near the top of quadrant 4. All right, SPY in a 2-hour uptrend, a 3-bar uptrend, a 4-hour uptrend, a daily uptrend, 2-day, 3-day, weekly, monthly, semi-annual. It's in an uptrend on the bigger time frames. All right, let's take a look at the game plan. All right, let's shoot down here to the game plan. The SPY pivot is 603.10. You can see where that lines up right there. Price action gaps above it. Then we come down to this area, find a little support, come back up, then finally make it through, back up and over. And you can see this is where kind of like price action was kind of waffling back and forth. So that's my pivot. And then you can see the shakeout stabs the pivot right here. Okay, so green erases red. Okay, so green up over this 606, 606.06. All right. That's going to be my bullish entry depending upon where they start this morning. Okay. 606.06. So that would be green erases red. So what would the red be? Let me get out my drawing tools here just a second. Let's get a box. Get the red. Get the red. All right. So the red is, see these 1, 2, 3 candles here? That's the red. So all of this, that's the red. Okay. Green erases red. You can see it up there. It's already done it. This will be the green erasing the red. So here's the green. You can see right there, erasing the red. There's your entry right there. Okay, so that's green erasing red. All right, see this is the red, the pullback, the shakeout. Okay, the whoopsie or the oopsie, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there's green erasing the red. There's an entry right there. Okay, so there's SPY on the 5-minute chart. On the downside, okay, if we have red erasing green, okay, that would be price coming all the way back down. Let's get the red back out here. And that would be all of this red erasing all of this green. So underneath this, 602. So under 602, that would be my red erases green. All right, so over 606.06, that's my bullish green erases red and red erases green under 602. All right, so I got that kind of taken care of. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's back it out so you guys can take a picture if you want to take a picture or get a mental image of it. So let's take this, back out just a little bit. That is the SPY game plan this morning. Okay, let's go hit the QQQ game plan while we got this open. All right, here's the QQQ game plan. And you can see right here, here's the pivot for the QQQ. It's 521.80. All right, and then here's the shakeout right there. Okay, so if green erases the shakeout, that's bullish. All right, that means going higher. All right, again, you don't need a shakeout unless you're going higher. Guess what? They went higher. Okay, so here's QQQ game plan. All right, so there it's green erasing the red. So that would be green comes back and erases the shakeout, and they go higher. So the pivot, or excuse me, the greenish entry is going to be over 524.56. On the bearish side, if we get below the low of yesterday, down here, okay, that would be red erases green. So underneath 519.30. All right, so underneath 519.30, you could probably move this up, but we got a whole lot of consolidation here that I'd like to see us break through before entering a red candle. Okay, so that would be green erases red underneath 519.30. Okay, so there's QQQ game plan. I'll leave that up if you want to take a picture or a mental image of it. All right, let's go back and let's take a look at the daily chart. And let's look at it on a clean chart. We like this one right here. QQQ, just like SPY, put in a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's a pink line here, up in quadrant 4. That's bullish, showing a inverted head and shoulders pattern right now. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM puts in a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Not quite in the upper third, but darn close. Kind of consolidating in the bullish area. Right underneath the bullish area, right there. That would probably be the upper third right through there. So they're close, all right, to breaking into the bullish zone up here. IWM, in an uptrend, they took out this high right here that put them into uptrend status, just a label. So there's IWM in a daily uptrend right there. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Now, Diamond Dow is in a downtrend, but they are about to negate the downtrend if they pop over those highs. And it looks like they might be doing it, all right? So Diamond Dow in a downtrend. Notice they don't have any candles up over the 17 here from this pullback, okay? So in a downtrend, but having a harsh pullback right here, about to negate the downtrend. As soon as they take out these 4 wicks up here, they'll have a new all-time high, and they will have negated the downtrend. Price action for Diamond Dow, even though it's in a downtrend, it's just a label, is moving up. All right, yesterday's price action is a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, closing in on the all-time high, and at the top of quadrant 4. All right, so Diamond Dow is bullish. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. Price action for FNGU is lower high, lower low, closing under bullish trap, but over the 17 EMA and over the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the downtrend line, over the uptrend line, trying to break through this wedge here. All right, price action, but a little bit of struggle going on. We'll see what happens. Had some earnings come out, so we'll see where we go with that. I think Apple reported last night. And then we had some big-time reports from Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla the night before. So here's FNGU, little doji candle. We'll see if they can, if that means they're pausing from coming down. See if they can get this thing going back up in the upper direction. We'll see what happens. FNGU is bullish. It's up in quadrant 4. It is in an uptrend. They will negate the uptrend if they take out, well, I don't know how true that candle. I think that's today's candle. Yeah, it is. If they take out this low right here, they will negate the uptrend and convert it into a downtrend. Currently showing, all right, an inverse head and shoulders. This would be the head. These two would be the left shoulder, and that would be the right shoulder. And I think that is a bad tick right there, all right? So there's FNGU on the daily chart. Let's go take a look at our technicals, T2122. We shot up out of the buyer's chop zone, okay? Darn near surpassed all of the buy zone, right into the bear's overbought zone up here, okay? Got tossed out. They kind of shut the door on us. Price action just kind of waffled around at the high end of the buy zone. You can't get any more bullish than this, I don't think, without being in the overbought zone. Looking at just bouncing on that, trying to break into the overbought zone there. So nice work on the bull's part. T2123. We'll back this out so you can get a full picture. All right, so here was the last low. And then they made a lower low, and then from there they shot up off of the midpoint. And I think we got ourselves a higher low right here, starting right now. T2123, 200 SMA, that's this red line here. 2 green lines, all right, are prior all-time highs. Price action for yesterday, notice the gap up, that's a bullish environment when price gaps up, and the bears failed to close the gap all day, all right? So see a gap up, bears still haven't closed the gap. Another gap up, bears haven't closed the gap. Another gap up, bears haven't closed the gap. Anytime you see price action, gap up, go up, and hold that higher ground, that is a bullish outlook, all right? So here's T2123 giving you the bullish outlook. Price action bullied all day, except for the last 2 candles. That's a shakeout, all right? Closing up, way up over the rising 200 SMA. I did not think they would get this far, but they are now consolidating over this consolidation over here earlier or late in December. Okay, so this is January. So this is the late December consolidation pullback right there. Right now they're consolidating over it. They're actually just still rising. So there's T2123, 15 minute. Nice recovery, all right? All initiated with the rubber band candle down here. You can see price action found some energy underneath this prior all-time high and shot up through it and through the next one, as well as transitioning over this falling 200 SMA. Now we got a little hook going on here. Also showing an inverse head and shoulders. Notice the head down here. This would be the left shoulder curling right through there, and this would be the right shoulder. All right, we'll see what happens. Maybe they have a little pullback and then find their way coming back up. We'll see what happens. T2123, again, it's the same chart. Only thing, we're taking it on a bigger time frame. You can see where price, the momentum stalls. See the stall up here? And then we begin to free fall all the way down to a prior all-time high. They managed to melt through that one to hit the next prior all-time high. Then the rubber band energy takes over from here, and you can see us shoot back up through both of those, heading back towards this flat 200 SMA. Maybe they want to visit this before they transition up here to challenge those highs. We'll see what happens. That's the 3-bar chart. You can see 3 more green candle bars, again closing in on the space between the flat 200 SMA and the price action candles. There's T2123, FNGU. Not a great day for FNGU yesterday, but hey, look. Let's look at the good stuff, all right? We closed over the all-time high anchored VWAP. We closed over the downtrend line, and we closed over the uptrend line. Okay, so there's FNGU on the 15-minute, and we managed to hold on to price through the shakeout. So nice work there, but they did have a pullback day. You can see right here, this would be the beginning of the day, red from the beginning of the day to darn near the end of the day when we had a couple green candles and then a shakeout. And then you can see what happened there is nothing but slop and chop right there on FNGU 15. We closed underneath the 200 SMA, but look at this morning's price action. We're leaning on it right now in the morning hours. All right, FNGU leaning on that flat 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart. Let's take a look at the. You know what? Let's go ahead and start the precious metals because I forgot those yesterday. We need to take a look at the precious metals. Take a look at GLD. I want you to notice this was the prior all-time high, all right? Well, it was the all-time high at the moment, but this is now the prior all-time high because yesterday we made a new all-time high. You can see price action making a higher low and a higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. Early this morning, we have already started to make another new all-time high. Early this morning, we'll see if they can close up over the bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That is the pink line. Notice the price action at the top of quadrant 4. That is bullish. Anytime you see price making new all-time highs, that's going to be bullish. That's going to be an uptrend. So there's GLD. Let's take a look at SLV. Silver price action. Silver now in an uptrend because they took out these highs, okay, over the 17. So they made a higher high. Price action yesterday for silver, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 in a daily uptrend, over the 12-year high anchored VWAP. That's not the all-time high, but that's over the 12-year high anchored VWAP. and price action closing in the neutral area. Okay, they went down and then they gave it up. Okay, so they went down and gave it up, and you can see they went up and gave it up. So they're just neutral through here on the bullish side of the 50-yard line or the midpoint. Okay, so on the bullish side of, I call it neutrality right through here. This dotted line that separates the upper quadrant, the upper half from the lower half. So on the bullish side of the 50-yard line. Okay, so there's silver in an uptrend, just neutral bullish here. Okay, about to break into the upper third. That would be nice if they could get up and hold. Like to see price get up and hold. That's a really bullish outlook. Whenever you see price get up there and hold that area, that's bullish. When they go up and give it up, that's just neutral. All right, you want to see price get up and hold the higher ground. All right, so there's silver. Let's take a look. We did gold. Gold was a new all-time high. Let's go take a look at XLE. Okay, this is our energy sector. Energy sector, notice price moves up, gives it up. Price moves down, gives it up. Okay, just kind of neutral right through here. Price action for XLE. Okay, XLE is in a downtrend. They took out this low, and they took out this low, and they took out this low right here. So they're in a downtrend. Had they put in a peak over the 17 that they could have risen over, all right, that would be an uptrend. But what we got is a steep pullback inside of the downtrend. Okay, so price action currently still underneath this downtrend line, and all I'm doing is connecting the tops. Okay, still underneath this downtrend line right here, and all I'm doing is connecting some highs. Here's a high, there's a high. Okay, so price action for yesterday would be this candle here. Okay, that's a higher low and a higher high, closing in the bearish trap underneath the 17, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath both downtrend lines. All right, not in the upper third, not in the upper quadrant, so just on the bullish side of neutrality here. Okay, I think there's a strong possibility that they stick in a higher low, J-hook off of support, and probably come back up and challenge this lower high that they just made. Okay, I think there's a possibility for that, and they may have found some support right here on the midpoint. We'll see what happens. Just neutral bullish on that one. That's XLE. Let's take a look at USO. Okay, USO is crude oil. Again, price action, moving up and giving it up. Okay, so almost in the upper third, but no cigar yesterday. All right, so price action is from yesterday's candle, a higher low and a higher high, but closing under the bullish trap, under the 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, but that all-time high was set back in 2022. Okay, so it's an old one. They're easy to beat when they're old like that. Okay, it's like putting the youth up against the elderly. All right, sometimes it's easier for the youth to beat that. So that's not a big. It's not a big feat. All right, if they would have closed up here and up here, started making some new all-time highs, that would be different. But there is one thing good. All right, they beat this high, they cleared this high, they cleared this high, and they cleared this high. So nice work. Bottom line, they couldn't hold it. All right, so price is back down here. So price on the bullish side of neutrality, not in the upper third. Again, under the trap and under the 17, but on the over the all-time high anchored VWAP. So just on the bullish side of neutrality there on USO. I am looking at a buy box area right along the tops of these wicks. See all these peaks right here? Okay, so right through here, right there. Okay, right along the tops of those. that would be my nibble buy box right in there, okay? Actually, right up underneath. So anything below from this brick of tails right here into this buy box would be something I'd start nibbling on. I want to see price start moving in the other direction. Then I'll slam it. All right, but until then, just nibbles right through here. That's USO, and that's just for me. That's my plan. Okay, let's take a look at UNG. UNG is in the buy box right now. Again, it's in the nibble buy box. Like to see price find support and head back in the other direction. You see UNG moves up and gives it up, moves up again to a higher high and gives it up. If price action for UNG pierces this low, see the valley low here between underneath the 17, if they take out that low, all right, they'll negate the uptrend that they're in. Okay, they converted this into an uptrend by making a higher high. Here's a high, there's a high. Well, they made a higher high right here. So that put them in an uptrend. Nice move up all the way up into quadrant 4 there. But again, they couldn't hold the higher ground. All right. So price action on the bearish side of neutrality. Okay. But in the buy box right through here is just a nibble box. We want to see price find support and J-hook back up. All right. Over the 2024 high anchored VWAP right there. That's nothing special. All right, so it's a good sign there. But you can see they're coming through it again today. Price action is a lower high and lower low, closing under the bearish trap. Under the 17 EMA, okay. They're just at the 12-month high anchored VWAP. Nothing really special going on. They're still in an uptrend, but they're just on the bearish side of neutrality here. And they are close to giving that uptrend status up by if they happen to break these lows down here at 1542, they will negate their uptrend status. All right, so there's UNG. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH is in a downtrend. They made a lower low. Here's the low that they beat that converted the uptrend into a downtrend. Price action for yesterday is a higher low and a higher high, closing in the bearish trap, but still under the 17 EMA. Only thing nice about yesterday is they're up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so, and they're bouncing off of the midpoint. That's a good sign. All right, but I'd like to see them hold this upper third, this upper quadrant. Right now, just kind of neutral right there, neutral bullish. They're on the bullish side of neutrality, and they're in a downtrend, but they are still on the bullish side of neutrality. Again, they keep going up and giving it up, going up and giving it up. Okay, that, my friends, is neutral. If they can't get up and hold it, all right, it's not the same as going up and giving it up, okay? It's just neutral. When they go up and hold, all right, that's when we want to start looking at it real close, okay? Let's take a look at XLK. All right, XLK in an uptrend. Notice they didn't take out the low, all right? So technology, yesterday's candles, this one right here, it's a higher low and a higher high. Closing in the bearish trap under the 17, under the the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Got to remember, last Friday, we put in a new all-time high. A week ago, right there, new all-time high for XLK. They're up in quadrant 4, so they're still bullish. They're still in an uptrend. It's just a label. And they're still consolidating up here in quadrant 4. So that's a nice look for the XLK. That is bullish right there. Let's take a look at XLI. Industrial sector, putting in, still in a downtrend. Okay, they would have to take out this high to be in an uptrend. Actually, they have a easier high to beat. They take out this high, they will take off the downtrend status label and convert it to an uptrend status label by taking out this high right here. Okay, pretty sure they can do that. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's XLI, industrial sector, closing up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Putting in an outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over the trap, over the 17, up in quadrant 4, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still got to deal with this downtrend line, this uptrend line. Let's go ahead and extend that, all right? Got to get up over this, or at least start knocking on the door here. Okay, so there's XLI. Let's take a look at XLU. XLU is in an uptrend. If they take out this low, they'll be in a downtrend. XLU not quite in the upper third. Nice candle action yesterday. Higher low, higher high. Closing over the trap, over the 17, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Just on the bullish side of neutrality there. XLU, you can see XLI is looking a whole lot more healthier than XLU up here in quadrant 4. All right, but it's still holding on to that downtrend status label. All right. So like I said, it's just a label. Let's take a look at XRT. This is our retail sector. Still in an uptrend. They never broke the low over here. Price action for XRT. You can see they went up and gave it up. That's neutral. Now they're heading back up again. That's nice. All right. XRT price action yesterday. Lower high. Let me make sure I got the right one. Right here, higher low, higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up in quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. Again, consolidation. This is very sloppy, by the way. Over prior consolidation is a bullish environment. Okay, so here we are on the daily chart, closing back up in quadrant 4. Here's our uptrend line, closing over the uptrend line, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up in quadrant 4, over the trap, over the 17. That's a bullish outlook for XRT. All right, let's take a look at the last one. Then we go get the economic package. Here's our transports yesterday. All right, price action, gap down. All right, lower high, lower low, closing. Yeah, in the upper third there for IYT, over the 17 and over the all-time high anchored VWAP, but underneath the trap. So really harsh pullback and over the new uptrend line that they just started. Okay, so they're bullish if they closed up here. If they give up that upper third, not so much, all right? Got to stay on the bullish side of this all-time high anchored VWAP in order to gain my vote right there. So there's IYT in an uptrend because they took out this high right here. All right, and they're bullish up there in the upper third right there. This IYT. Let's take a look at our tech dollar. Here's the dollar. Dollar's now in a downtrend. They took out this low. Okay, so they made a lower low. Dollar's in a downtrend. Past 3 days, they have not been moving down. Price action closed around 108.17 area. Earnings report. Wednesday night, we had some big cap earnings. We had Tesla, Microsoft, and Meta. Last night, we had Apple, all right, and Intel, all right. For today, this morning, we got ExxonMobil, AbbVie, all right, pharmaceuticals, little drugs. Chevron oil right there. So Exxon oil, Chevron oil, Novartis, more drugs. All right. Eaton Corporation, building materials. Okay, those are your breaker boxes in your houses. Aon, not sure what they do, but again, they're only 79 billion. These are some familiar names, all of them. Everybody knows Grainger. Everybody knows Phillips 66. Everybody knows Colgate Palmolive. Okay. Again, some familiar names, but not really market movers, okay? Right there on the earnings calendar. All right, for Max Payne for today, the 31st. Let's get the 31st. Max Payne for today, 596. All right, 596. Oh, look at this. 3 2/3 puts to every call. All right. That expires today. Huge day. Definitely a possible put squeeze. Okay. 3 2/3 puts for each call. All right. Put squeeze is on the table. Max pain is 596. I don't think we're going for 596. All right, so it's either going to be, I think, a massive put squeeze, or they're gonna really drop us into max pain. It's one of the two, and they might just pin it between the both of them. We'll see what happens. Economic calendar for today. It's Friday. Personal income and outlays 8:30. Employment cost index 8:30. Fed speaker, Chicago PMI 945. A rig count at 1. And that's it. Some farm prices at 3. All right, traders, that's it for me this morning. Take questions in the room. All right. If not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video and get it out there for the Cyberland people. All right. So I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes unless you got questions.